Jumpity jump.
Jump. Welcome back to the Sketchbook Hero Summer Special with me, Ilias.
And me, Robert.
Yeah. Ooh, and today we're going to talk about quitting shit.
You fucking quitter.
Quitter.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of quitting, I don't know when to quit, especially when it comes to drinking. So
There you go.
I have a story for you. I actually did something.
Yes.
No, so this weekend, and well, who knows when this will air. This weekend, Santa had her birthday. So the birthday.
The birth.
Birthday. And so it's been full on. This is sort of day 3 hungover for me. But so Friday was her birthday. Birthday.
Birth.
Yeah, I don't like saying so all y'all. Oh my God. You had
Cool
to.
story.
Yeah, so good. So Friday we just celebrated her birthday with her family, and it was pretty full on. Her family, just as mine, do enjoy the drinks. So Saturday we were originally gonna go on like the spontaneous, let's go out and be spontaneous type trips. So what that would have been was we just go to the train station, get a ticket to any sort of random city and go there and find a place to live and stay there overnight, have food, drinks, and just sort of be spontaneous. Because, I don't know, I kind of miss doing adventures, just this little, what do you call them, like vardagsäventyr, everyday adventure type thing. But because I recently lost a very good friend, we had sort of a memorial service or meetup, like the original crew from my first tattoo place, Huckleberry. And I didn't really want to miss that. So we decided to stay in Stockholm and sort of do the spontaneous thing, but in the city. So rather than just stay at home, we I booked a hotel and booked a restaurant, and then we just sort of had a great time. But, so here's where the adventure sort of kicks in. After we went to meet up with the friends and went to the restaurant, we were originally going to go out and meet some other friends, but the line of people was so extremely long that there was no chance in hell we were going to make it into this place before they closed. And I also found out later that my friends had left anyway, so it was like pretty shit. So we were so bummed out because we had like pumped ourselves up to go out and just muster up energy to go out drinking and meeting more people, that when we weren't able to do that, we were just crushed. So trying to find another place, this was maybe around like 11 o'clock at night or something. It just felt like we're not going to be able to get in anywhere. But then Santa remembered a place. We went there. There were not that much people, and we just sat down at the bar, started talking to the bartender. And this is where the adventure kicks off. So we're just hanging out, talking to the bartender. He turns out to be this super geek that is just awesome. Shout out Terry. And we're talking like Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica and fucking geeky stuff. And he starts giving us shots, and we're just sort of enjoying life. And then that place closes, and, it's super sad. And by that point, we are really feeling good. Like we want to do stuff. And at this stage, like now it is impossible to go in to any place because it's like over 1 o'clock at night. And we just feel extremely defeated, go back to the hotel and like, fuck, I really wanted to do more. Like when we're actually out on the town, we should really maximize this. So we're like, fuck it. Let's just go back to the hotel room. Maybe we can pop like one of the wines from the cooler or whatever. And by like some happy accident, we weren't able to go in through like
the main gate. Yeah.
There were two doors. So we had one sneaky way in. That's just like you go in, take the stairs up, and you're in our place. Or there's the main entrance that is you have to sort of go through this gigantic hallway to get to our place. and we could only go in through that door. And when we get up to the 4th floor, which is our level, we start hearing people, and like there's a party going on, and we're like, okay, at least somebody's having fun. But turns out we have to go through this party to get to our place. So we go in and we're like, so sorry to like bother you guys. And they're like, no, hey, how's it going? Like, that's all right. And then because it was a whole wedding party that had rented out the entire floor because COVID. And they just wanted to sort of celebrate. And I think they rented it out for like 3 days or something. So
What?
It's, crazy. So they were like in full party mode. And they were like, no, fuck, come join us, and ended up just giving us a lot of free booze. And well, when we came, some people were already going to bed, but the sort of bride and groom did not want to go to bed, and they were super into just meeting new people and also adventurous, I guess. And they were like, no, just join us. And then, we ended up sitting with them and drinking like crazy until 5 o'clock in the morning.
Jesus.
And doing like arm wrestling. And it was so much fun. And it, like, I've forgotten how it is to sort of live. This COVID thing has just murdered all of my creativity. And it's just like, oh yeah, like you can actually go out and meet people and get energized from doing like all of this. And I mean, for one, sticking to today's theme, there's no quitting. You do not quit. You just keep fucking going. If you want to drink, you drink. But also just like being social and, not being, obviously being drunk helps because you're more social. But like we could have just snuck by and not said anything, but just stopping and saying like, congratulations, you guys, like we saw that you had rented the place and blah, blah, blah. Just said something and that opened up for discussion, and that opened up for like, oh, have a glass of wine, and adventure just kept on going. So I think actually the spontaneous homestead thing, like what was it, staycation that we did, turned out to be like heaps better than it probably would have been if we went to any other place.
Any other place, yeah.
So like, sorry, that was a weird tangent, but
that you started off with, but I like
it. But just like, I don't quit. But no, so like if you are like you have a friend or a partner that is having a birthday and you want to celebrate, do like a staycation. Like it really is so much fun. Just like even just staying in a hotel in your city feels so luxurious in a way. The fact that you don't have to like jump on a train to go home, you can just walk home from the pub. It really is nicer. Yeah. It's so nice. And because you guys do a lot of staycation stuff.
Yeah.
So like this, but I can't recommend it enough. We had a blast. It wasn't all that expensive either. Like you can get away with pretty cheap prices for even a good hotel. This was, if you've ever been to Stockholm, this was right next to Spy Bar, like in the middle of the city, more or less. So it was like easy access to all of the main or good pubs and stuff. Like it was just great. Like I'm feel so grateful to have been given this weekend. Again, totally dead now, but well worth it. And I really hope Santa had a great time. Like
it sounded like she did.
Yeah. So really got to celebrate her and celebrate life, I guess. So never stop, never stopping.
Never stop, never stop. And I think what gave us the idea to talk about quitting was like an article that Jody sent us. Thank you, Jody. We're not going to talk about that article at all, but just the
Thank you for sending us something.
But sending us no, but it just got us thinking about like quitting. When should you quit? When shouldn't you quit?
Yeah, like what makes you a quitter? And like there's a lot of
because I think we've all sort of quit something.
Yeah,
but then some of us
Spanish.
Spanish, yes, indeed,
and German, and so much more stuff.
But I think it is like a nice topic to sort of like philosophize around, I guess.
Yeah,
or like reflect on your own sort of
flufficize.
Flufficize. There, that's a good term.
There you go.
That is more like sort of closer to the truth than philosophizing.
But before we jump into all of that good stuff, thank you guys.
Oh, yeah.
So
Shit,
much
We haven't done that.
for listening, for
To the summer
sharing,
rants.
and for not complaining loudly. And if you are, we're not listening.
At
And-
sketchbookheroes.com.
Exactly. we talk. We don't listen. If you know us by now, you know this. No, but seriously, thank you guys.
Yeah.
As always, like we say it every fucking episode, but it's only because we mean it, not because we've just accidentally
No, Max,
made
no!
it. Yeah. Stop hitting me. No. So thank you, and yes, definitely intro. Go.
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 Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
They loved 80s cartoons. Even with beards and tattoos, you know they haven't changed at all. Filling sketchbooks every night, getting better with each line. Sketchbook hero, imagination burning. Sketchbook hero pick up. Sketchbook hero, they don't seem to have any line.
That was horrible.
And we're back.
That was so bad.
It was horrible, and we're back.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, like I said, Jody sent us an article about quitting that made us think about quitting.
So here we are quitting.
Here we are quitting. Bunch of quitters.
Never quitting. But yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
So like, where do we even start here?
Yeah,
Again,
that is the question, right?
why don't we write stuff down?
We should not because it's vacation.
Yeah. and-
But something that happened, like, this is the second time that I'm running a business, like for myself. For example, if I start there.
Mhm.
And the first time I did it poorly. You know, I didn't get, like, thing with me is that I get, like, as a young man, I always got these ideas of what I wanted to do. And that was all that I wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just couldn't lose, like, it always felt like failure,
yeah.
like quitting. And I would stick by the idea, even if it sucked.
Yeah. I mean, you would see it through, like as well as you could.
know,
Yeah.
But I would say I sometimes wasted time. You know what I mean? It could have been years where I could have just like moved on. Because the thing with quitting is that you don't quit for life. You
No.
quit for the moment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm very much for following through. Like do something. Like if you start doing, like I don't know, if you start doing, like if you take a dance class, you don't quit after 1-2 times. No,
No.
you do the whole semester. You know, like
Because you don't want to lose money. Yeah.
that too. But usually
but
the
yeah.
first one is for free. But
Yeah.
I just mean like if there's something there that made you want to go there, try it out. You know, for
Yeah.
like take the 10 classes and then decide. Because at least you've set like a standard to yourself that I'm gonna do this. And then
Yeah.
if you still don't like it or like you're not getting what you wanted out of it, like you at least
you know. Yeah, that's right.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think like I do this with my kids as well. Like they can try something once, that's fine. But if they've committed to it and have paid for it, you do the term and then we quit. Because then at
Exactly.
least okay, you gave it an honest chance. Like,
Yeah.
let's not do this.
I was the master at that, actually. Speaking of this thing,
Of quitting or just
of quitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as my parents paid.
Yeah.
As soon as they paid, it was just like, I don't know.
Not
I didn't
interested.
even know that they had paid,
Yeah,
of course.
Of course not.
But as soon as they paid, they told me this so many times, but it was just like, I don't want to go anymore.
yeah.
Like, I hate it. Like, I really fucking hate it. And they're like, no, but just try it one more time. Like, at least give it one more shot. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
So they hated me, and they still do.
No, but it is it's things are expensive as well.
Yes.
Just like some of these, like my daughter does horse riding.
That
is
the,
not
That's
a
like the
cheap
Formula
fucking hobby.
One of horse riding.
It's the, the fuck. No, but it is like super expensive.
Yeah.
I would never let her quit
Yeah.
because that's like $500, you know, or more for 10 classes. Or no, it's more than 10
Yeah.
classes, but it's still not enough classes. Like, so yeah.
At least it's not golf.
But the thing is, Swedish prices. Like
Yeah.
it might be super cheap somewhere else, but
Yeah,
in Sweden
yeah.
that is not cheap.
I think
for-
like if you go to Poland, maybe you get free horses.
Dude, yeah, you
Yeah.
can buy a horse for that amount.
Yeah,
Whereas in Sweden, like a
not
normal
prejudiced
class
at all.
No, but
No.
in Sweden, like most things cost between $100 to $200.
Yeah.
Like signing up to gymnastics or
Mm.
like martial arts or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like per 6 months. So it is fairly cheap compared to like the US, for example,
Yeah.
where I heard the prices for something and they were like, it's really cheap. And I was like, no, it's not. But then again, salaries and everything are different here.
Yeah.
But I think as a young man, though, like I really got this idea in my head and I would not let it go, even if it sucked, for years. I was just like, no, got to see it through. And that for me is such a waste of time. I used to do that with audiobooks. Like I had to listen to them
Yeah.
from beginning to end. And I was like, that sucked. Like, yeah, dude. It sucked. And then I would listen, like if it was a trilogy, I would listen to the whole trilogy.
Like maybe it's gonna
Maybe
get better.
no. Just
You're so
quit,
fucking
dude.
stubborn.
Just fucking quit. What are you, a moron? Yeah, I learned
Yes.
that lesson later.
Yeah, you are a moron.
Yes,
Yeah. Well, we
that
both
was the
are.
lesson, and then I listened to that other trilogy. And I just,
Yes. Farewell, moron.
But yeah, but I did have a company. Like the first time I had it back in 2000 and something 7. Just throw out a year. And it went poorly
Yeah.
in all kinds of ways.
Do you know,
And-
like in retrospect, what was it?
Yeah,
Like-
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So in 2009, I quit my company. I remember at least when I quit, and I was so relieved once I did it, because I was like, okay, I don't have to, like do the tax things at the end of the year. I don't have to worry about this shit. I'll just get a job, and
Yeah.
I'll be satisfied.
Exactly.
And I was not.
And so many times I wanted to do that too.
Yeah, exactly. But then the second time around, back in some other year, yeah.
17, maybe.
17,
No.
I don't know. I don't even know. But yeah, 17, 16, I don't know. I decided to start one again, And this time I was like, okay, this is what I didn't enjoy about this. And the stuff that I failed on the first one, which was, just finding clients, and that chase that I was like, I have a job. I don't have to worry about that. I'll just do the gigs that I actually do want to do.
Yeah.
And just not having to say yes to things. Like I just took myself out of that. So if I don't want to do something, I just don't have to do it. And
Yeah.
it's not more complicated than that.
I mean, that's the biggest luxury you can ever have, I
Yeah.
think, especially.
And I did have gigs back then as well, like, because I had Microsoft and all those gigs, like that came through that.
Yeah, on a regular. more or
Yeah,
less.
it was off, like, yeah, more often than not. So it was nice to have a company to take it all through. But I didn't have to worry. Like, if I didn't want to do a gig, I just said no. And then if they persisted, I put like some crazy amount and they still said yes. And then you're like, okay, I guess I'm doing this job.
Yeah.
But
Can't say no now.
Yeah, exactly. But when they didn't sort of like, and I didn't want to do it, there was no problem because I had a job.
Yeah.
And also one more thing, like the end of year taxes thing, I don't have to do that anymore.
So you
Because
pay
I
somebody to
actually
do it.
pay someone to do
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is the best takeaway from this episode ever.
Dude, yes.
No, that's such a. I totally full-heartedly agree with you, because a lot of my friends, they do their own and they're like, no, it's super easy, la la, la. I'm like, no. Like for you, yeah, because you've learned how to do it, but my brain doesn't function that way. It just stresses me out. Now
Exactly.
I know that
But
I
it takes
have
weeks.
my guy
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
figuring shit out and stuff, and then you just give it to this person. And
who
they
does it in
just-
like an hour.
Dude,
It's like
exactly that. They do it in a
because they
fucking
know
hour.
what to do.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's such a big relief, and it's the best thing ever. And that's
Yeah.
made my life so easy. But it's also, I did have a really bad experience with those people. So like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had some, what do you call them, accountants or number people that, I mean, they kind of fucked me without like intentionally wanting to, but they
Yeah.
just didn't give enough
Fucks.
fucks. Yeah, for sure. So it ended up like really biting me in the ass and having to pay much more than I.
Was that the Australia before the Australia thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it was such a horrible experience, and that sort of put me off the whole thing again. So when I did come back from Australia, I initially wanted to do it myself
Yeah.
and get into it. because I mean it's not really that difficult, but it's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but it's like on top of everything else.
Exactly.
Is
It's
it
like
something-
just
yeah,
another.
another must. Yeah.
Yeah. But
and
then,
it's recurring.
Exactly.
It's not that you do it the once and then you're good. No, you have
No.
to do it every fucking year.
all the time. Yeah.
All the yeah, exactly.
I do
and
it
then-
every third month,
Yeah.
like just to keep sort of track on how the business is
Mhm.
going and stuff. But yeah, by happy accident, like one of my friends did one of those like 1 or 2 year schoolings and became one of those people, and now works for a bigger company, but still helps me out with mine. And it's just like the easiest fucking thing ever. Plus, he's a good friend. Like I trust the man, and well, I mean, his husband won't get free tattoos if he stops. So, and neither will he. But yeah, sorry, I just had to say that that
Yeah.
is like the best thing ever. It's made my business sort of easy.
Yeah, and also you know that it's correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, or at least I hope so. But, yeah.
as much as you
Yeah.
can. That's what I mean.
like this year, I even got money back.
Yeah, same.
It's
Well,
insane.
last year as well. I
Yeah.
just have it there because there's like this deductible fee, the preliminary taxes thing that they pull.
yeah, Like-
So the money from last year is there. They can just take from there,
Yeah.
and I don't have to worry about it.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. But so why did you end up reopening or like restarting?
Oh well, I
the
had a lot
business?
more gigs, and I really wanted to because
Because didn't you do a lot of like from freelance finance?
yeah, but I didn't like. I lost so much during that.
Yeah.
Like everything I bought, like I couldn't do deductions. I couldn't do shit.
Yeah, that's right.
And also the first time I did, like the first company that I ran, like it went into my personal funds. Like they were the same. Like my spending account, my personal spending account, and my business were the same. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mine is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I didn't like that.
Mm.
And eventually, I had like kids and shit.
Yeah.
Was on this sort of thing. And I just couldn't keep them apart clear
Mm.
enough. Like, sure, I could have started another account. And back then, like it wasn't as smooth with the pay through your
No,
phone
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
So it just got very complicated.
Complicated.
Yeah. And if something would be like go wrong, it would affect my like private finances.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the way that I run my company now, the type of company that I have, is its own entity.
Mm.
So if like as long as I'm not murdering and doing illegal shit, everything that can go wrong in my company, let's say I misjudge something, I buy something that I can't afford, and I go bankrupt or whatever, it'll only affect my company
Yeah.
and my private finances, my house, everything. Like it's not affected.
No.
It's not part
It's
of
its
that.
own-
Yeah, it's
own
an
thing.
entity. It's
Mm.
the aktiebolag thingy
Yeah.
majiggy.
No, I am definitely thinking about
So
doing
it
this.
is really worth having, and also like if you are like saving some money in your company, like part from the salary that you pay yourself, you can also like once a year, you can sort of do I don't know what it's called in English, but you can sort of like
You give yourself a bonus, right? Or
basically
kind of
that, yeah, for
a payout.
a payout that is taxed lower,
Oh, yeah.
depending on how much of your income you're taking out of, like how much income you're getting. So the higher the income, the lower the tax bracket on the payout.
Oh, okay.
So you could get as low as I think 20% or 20 something.
Yeah.
And normally you pay 50 plus whatever else the fuck there is. Like
Yeah.
when you pay out your salary for all the invisible yet very real
Always so grateful.
Deductible
Thank you.
fees, or
Yeah.
all the tax fees that are there.
Thank
Uh,
you for taking my
So
money.
so that's like the first time it was such a hassle, and I felt like such a failure quitting.
Mm.
But once it's like learning to drive. When you first learn to drive, it's very stressful. There's all these cars back and
Yeah,
forth coming.
there's so much input.
Exactly, and you have to
everywhere.
actually like find the you have to like what the fuck is it called?
Change gears.
Yeah, change gears, and like the brake is there, this is there,
The clutch is there.
the clutch is there.
you
Yeah, everything.
find
You
all
just
this.
need to fucking like. There's so much, and that's what it felt like having the company the first time. But the second time, I was like, yeah, this is gonna get complicated, and I was like, oh no, this is this thing, this is that thing, and it just slowed down. And then I got the accountant, it just slowed down even further. 'Cause she was like,
I can actually enjoy this.
every third month they're like, do you have like anything from the EU like Germany or anything, just like these countries that would just like that we need to do like a reverse taxation on.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I was like, no. And they were like, okay, talk to
Cool.
you next quarter.
Yeah.
And they just check up on me, you know, and stuff like that. So it's just like the tempo and the stress has just gone down. So I can actually run a company, you know, and not worry.
Yeah.
And then I send them the receipts. They send me an invoice. I see what they did. We're good.
Ta-da!
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
by the end of the year, they're just like, this is what we've done through the year. Does this look good to you? You read through it. You're like, this seems about it. And I don't have a lot. So
Yes. Ta-da!
I give them some money. They give me peace of mind.
and it's,
yeah. The world spins madly on, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I guess in that way it was a good move to quit, you know? To
Yes,
make
because
it- because that's the thing. Like quitting has a negative sort of sound to it
Yeah.
when you say that like, oh, you quitter,
Mm.
you know. But there are many times where it's actually a good thing to quit.
Yeah.
Like if you're beating up your wife, maybe quit. Yeah. Okay, that was
Thank you.
Spontaneous Rob. Here we go.
Idiot. Just idiot.
I mean husband, of course. And no, but like I do regret quitting a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Breakdancing for one, like, or at least teaching.
Mm-hmm.
That is like, well, I didn't really have a choice. Like I could have maybe tried to find some more, you know, dance gigs when I moved to Australia again. But, you know, I got out of it and then trying to come back and, you know, I know that they've already hired new teachers and all of that, you know. So
Yep.
with that, it is something that I do genuinely miss, but also,
But you miss the teaching more than the dancing?
yeah,
Okay.
I do. And but also I'm so happy that it's opened up more time for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel more free now.
Dude, you used to work a lot.
Yes.
Like always. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, oh, these 3 dance classes a week plus the work plus the other thing. You're like, crazy,
Exactly.
man.
Yeah. And so in that way, like I had to do that to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
But it also gave me so much more, at least the teaching. Because the teaching I kind of did almost for free. Like there was not a lot of money in dance teaching. And if anybody is a dance teacher out there, you definitely know what I mean. But it just gave me so much more, like being with the kids and having, like, I don't know, it feels like they really,
Being a role model.
yeah, that, like you feel like you've done something.
Yeah.
Like, and you give back.
Like give back. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's something that I miss, but it's also like in a way I do that with the tattoos as well. But yeah, so that is the one thing I like spontaneously think of that I do regret quitting. But like in all fairness, everything that I have quit, I have for reasons, you know, and I've ended up exactly where I want to be. And I mean, with that said, it's not difficult to pick something up and start again. Like if
That's
pretty
what
much
I mean.
what you
That's
did
what
with,
I mean.
with
yeah.
yours. Like quitting is not necessarily for life, you know?
Quitting can be like a strategic move as well. Because
Yeah.
right now I can't like the quality of life has gone down like so much that I'm suffering
Yeah.
and there is no payout. Like maybe quitting and regrouping, you know, just like building up that like whatever you need to sort of take the next step.
Yeah.
So quitting doesn't mean that you quit. Like quitting doesn't mean anything really.
It gives you space.
It gives you space
Yeah,
to reflect because
exactly.
it's easier to reflect once you're out of it than while being in it.
Exactly.
'Cause you have
don't
stakes.
have time
Yeah.
to reflect.
Yeah,
You don't have
'cause you
time
have
to
s-
reevaluate shit. So yeah, for sure. Like if you are feeling the way Ilias did with his own, like the first time he had his company, take a step back. Like you can pause your company. You can take like actual just
Yeah,
pause
if we
it,
keep
put-
it in the company
yeah.
thing, yeah.
and take, you know, a couple of months and really just, I don't know, get a normal kind of boring warehouse job or
Yeah.
whatever and just relax, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because that will do you more good in the long run.
Yeah.
Because then hopefully you might like get this epiphany of this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like I want to work a warehouse the rest of my life. Yeah.
But also, like, being in projects or like in a, whether it's a business or a project that's going nowhere, whatever the fuck it is that you're trying to do, sometimes it's just like a bad relationship, you can't see it until you're out of it. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Because you keep telling yourself that it's for the better, it's going to get better or things are going to turn
exactly.
around. And sometimes you just need to get out of it and like, no, shit, this was like such a terrible thing to spend my time on
Yeah.
for this amount of time.
Yeah.
Like I could have gotten out of it, get the reflection, and then make a decision, like if you want to continue doing the thing or not.
Yeah.
But as long as you're in it, it's so hard to be objective about it because there is so much riding on it, no matter what the fuck it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully you're not like invested with other people, because I guess that way you do like really feel like a quitter.
Yep.
Because you're letting people down, and that's never easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I left Huckleberry to move to Kretz with Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
that felt horrible. It felt like I was letting everybody down. Like they were not depending on me for
Nope.
sure. Like fuck, I wasn't working all that much. So I wasn't paying all that much rent anyways. But it was just like my family, my friends, and all of a sudden I'm just leaving.
Yeah.
It felt horrible, and that really it felt like quitting in a way. Like I was abandoning the sinking ship. I was really just like, can't take it anymore. There's something going on here, and I can't put my finger on it, but I'm not feeling relaxed. There's something like in the atmosphere in this place that is sort of slowly poisoning me, and I need to change something. And the opportunity came up like just when I was thinking that, and here I am. I'm definitely a lot happier being where I am now, but I'm also starting to second guess this place. So like I need more interaction with people.
With people, yeah.
So we'll see what happens in the long run, but for now, like, I'm super happy. Business is going great. Finally, like, back on my feet for sure. So that's also like not quitting, because I was so close to quitting tattooing during 2020.
Yeah.
Because that shit was stressful. Like
Yeah.
so many times we
Rough.
talked
Yeah.
about like the money situation, and I was just fucking eating off of my savings every month, and just like I should just stop and get the warehouse gig. Like I just needed to do something where I get like a fixed amount of money each month that I know that I can count on, and not have to think about like chasing people to tattoo. Like God, I've worked so much for free during 2020 just so I can publish Instagram posts to have people see that I am still working, so they will hopefully, like, fingers crossed, contact me and want a tattoo. And I didn't fucking quit. I kept doing that, and here I am back. Like, it feels like normal again. It's so nice,
Yeah.
but
And
also stressful.
No, definitely. And I think just like sometimes quitting just means taking a step back as well. Like just like big picture, I'm still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Or at this very sort of where I'm at right now, I need to do something different.
Yeah.
Whether it's get an extra job, like a part-time thing, just to make you more relaxed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just to
Get
like
that weight off your shoulder.
exactly, because it's so much easier when you don't like have to worry about paying rent. Like
Yeah.
it's like one of those like basic things you should just not worry about.
It should just always be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like always like counting every fucking crown or dollar. Man, it sucks. I hate money.
Yeah,
Fucking
dude.
hate
And for
money.
the longest time, I was working to pay rent, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And like really
You're
trying to make
like-
money.
Lucky if you could buy food as well.
Oh, dude, food was not a priority. You just like, I paid rent. We're good. I'll just eat whatever the fuck I come across.
Yeah.
Like, visit friends, eat, like you could make $50 last, like we talked about before. Like you could make it work as long as you could pay rent,
yeah.
because that shit you couldn't just,
Yeah, you can't
know.
make that last.
you can't make that last. You just have to pay it and
Yeah.
then not worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And usually when I borrowed money back then, I didn't borrow like my rent money. I just borrowed part of it.
Yeah, just
Gave it-
like
yeah.
I need just these
I
last
just
couple of
missing-
hundred.
exactly,
Yeah.
and then I'll fix food myself. You know, like I'll solve that part.
Yeah.
I don't need money for food. I just need to pay rent so that I don't lose anything like my
Exactly.
place.
As long as I have a roof, I'm happy. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. And that's something that I try to like always promote, that, you know, every morning you wake up, you look at that ceiling and just be grateful you have that ceiling. And then remember what you have in your fridge. Like, yes, there's still cucumber. Yes.
You can eat that, yeah, dude.
Like, I'm so fucking lucky.
They were like, but I remember you saying like, oh, Elias eats ketchup to everything.
Yeah.
Ketchup was all the seasoning I basically had at some point. That was like it. I was
Yeah.
like, this ketchup lasts.
And it makes nasty stuff taste not
Tastes not
less-
as bad.
less
Yeah,
nasty.
exactly. That was like the seasoning of
Yeah.
the fucking thing. And I remember like so many times, you know, when the tax return came and I got some money. Oh no, I managed to save some money. And then the tax return said that, or like the supposed return
Oh, yeah.
was like, oh, you owe us 5,000.
Yeah.
And it was always like
The
basically
exact thing.
what I had on my savings account.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, you're like you paid taxes, but you paid 5,000 short." You
Yeah,
know,
that
so
was
you
me
owe us."
last year.
Yeah,
That
But
was
it's like
exactly me last
Every year,
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm at my poorest,"
Yeah.
and you're always demanding me pay you
Yeah.
more.
You always have
like,
to pay more when you don't have
yeah,
money.
when you don't have money.
And when you have
right,
money,
yeah,
it's
you
like,
get it back.
oh, here you go. Yeah.
Yeah, here you
Get
are.
some more
Exactly.
money.
Here's like $1,000
It's so
extra.
weird.
Yeah, it's so
It's
weird.
so unfair. It's so
It is
weird. And
unfair,
I hate
yeah.
life and I hate money.
Yeah,
but
money
I also
is.
love life and I love money.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thing is, yeah, I don't know what the thing is.
No. But there's also a thing with actual quitters. There are people, and
Yeah.
I guess we're
But if
kind
we
of
take
those
it-
people too. But when
I
you
think we're
quit,
all those people. Like we're all, depending on what the subject matter is. Like I haven't finished any part of school.
Yeah.
You
well,
know.
Yeah. In that way, you are a fucking quitter.
I'm a quitter.
Yeah, big time.
So this is not like blaming or pointing fingers or doing any of that because we're all quitters in one thing or another.
Video
I-
games.
Robert is a video game quitter.
I never finish a video
Filthy
game.
Robert. And I'm a school quitter, which I kind of guess is worse in this case.
Also a show quitter. Like I've realized I am definitely a show quitter. I start watching a show and I'm like, no, like not even gonna give it a chance. And everybody keeps nagging, like, oh, just give it a few episodes. I'm like, nope, it sucked. But yeah, show quitter, game quitter. What else? I mean, there's a couple of projects too. Like at this stage, I hate even thinking about the tattoo poster. So like, I'm not quitting it. I know I will finish it at some point. I just have quit it for now.
Strategically quitted.
Yeah, strategically quitted it. I quitted it,
I quitted it. And,
and now I'm feeling good at it.
yeah, but like when it comes to like art and stuff as well, you know, there's levels of like where we've all quit at
Oil
some
painting.
point. Yeah.
Quit it.
But again, like sometimes you're not mature or you're not there to kind of pick
Yeah.
something up. And
I think that is a good point. Like sometimes you're just not there. And I mean, is it quitting then? No.
Yes.
Maybe shelving
Yes.
it.
no, but I think end game things, like you got to think like, where do I, like, it's hard to do when you're young, you know?
Yeah.
Like some people are really, really motivated for that thing. Like I
Yeah.
was, like I want that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of makes you a bit non-flexible. You know, like
Yeah.
life is throwing opportunities, and you're like, nope, I'm gonna do the thing.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah. Is that right? Is that wrong? You know.
yeah.
Yes
like,
and no.
Yes, exactly. Yes and no. There is no right thing. But you can miss a lot of opportunities being too rigid. Like if you see something and you need to pivot.
Pivot.
Pivot. No, but that's what I mean. Because the thing is, let's say you're doing this one thing. You want to go to China to become a Ninja Turtle. And then this opportunity comes by you, you know. And you're like, no, I'm not going to take this. You know, like I got offered this artsy thing that I really want to do. I don't know what that could be. Like, let's say Disney contacts you.
My poster is the best example.
Yeah.
I think the movie poster
Yeah,
that I still like. I'm just not doing it. I'm like keep pushing it ahead of me. But like you said, I should just fucking send it in because it's kind of already.
It
finished.
is enough for what they've paid you. Nothing. It's
Exactly.
good enough.
Yeah. And because of nothing, I am giving them nothing.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And sometimes, just if you're doing something and you're spending a lot of time with little payout and this other thing comes along, just pivoting might actually give you the opportunity to pivot back into what you like your end goal.
Yeah.
But you gotta sometimes just working in an industry will open up doors that did not exist before. Like, I think working at King opened a lot of doors for me just by association. Oh, you're a game designer. Like, no, I'm not. But,
But yeah.
like for people outside, they like game artist and game designer, which is two different, things. One person draws stuff, one designs the gameplay and like how it should work. But game designer, that's what it says.
Yeah.
And just like, but I just mean like you got introduced to a lot of people that don't only do games. And those people want to work with you in the future or on other things. Like, oh, that guy works in games. We would love to have him. He's a cool guy. I've talked to him.
Yeah.
And that opened opportunities to
It's
do
because
other
you didn't
art
quit being cool.
Exactly.
Lessons.
No, but I just mean like if you've been doing something for a long time and another opportunity comes along, give that a shot for a while.
Yeah.
Like you're not giving up on your end goal. You're just
Shelving it.
no, basically, you're taking a detour because that's what life is. It's a bunch of detours that take you to the place you might like that you want to go, or maybe didn't know you wanted to go.
Yeah.
So instead of like I don't know, like trekking mud, you could just take that detour and
end up on a beach.
End up on a beach somewhere. Yeah.
yeah.
Like I don't know, but it is like you just can't be too rigid and like. When is the right time to quit something? No one knows.
No.
Because every specific fucking case is different.
Yeah. And it's
the
always right
circumstance.
and it's always wrong.
Yes,
More or
exactly. Pros and cons.
Always.
Can you live with the cons of your decision here?
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes you don't know. Like you simply just got to take one of those leaps
of faith.
Yeah. And just fucking do something. Because if you've been standing there for 3 years trying to sell your comic strip, and it doesn't work,
Speaking of quitting.
quit.
Comics.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
How many times have we started?
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. No, but
Yes.
there is no right or wrong answer. Like
No.
sometimes, if you had stuck with it, maybe you would have succeeded.
Yeah.
But you took this other path, and it took you this weird road, ending. Like maybe you'll end up in the same place. One road will take you there faster.
Yeah.
You just don't know which one it is. But in the end, like if you get to where, like if you're happy where you're at that point, like you've done good. You know what I mean? Like even if you missed opportunities or whatever the fuck has come your way. You've still done stuff. You grew into the person you are today, and people kind of like you. That's a
win.
That's a win. Yeah.
Yeah. But then, then we also have, I guess, the last part of the quitting, which is quitting before even starting.
Oh yeah, that one is the worst.
And this is something I think we are not good at. Like we are better at starting stuff, or at least testing more or less everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like we never really say no to stuff. We are yes dudes for the most part. Nowadays, we're older and more rusty, I guess.
Yeah,
so
we've done a lot of things.
Yeah,
so it's easier to say no to
yeah,
things. Yeah,
like we can
still being like I think
we still
to
say
our
yes.
disadvantage. No, but I think like I say no to more things
Yeah.
that I assume I won't like anymore.
Exactly. There's a lot more of
Yes.
the assuming.
Assuming, yes. And I
Yes.
think that is a sign of getting older.
Yeah, and lazy and comfortable.
Mhm.
But with that said, like we've never, like if we said like we want to do this, at least we try it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we start the project. You are doing the dremeling and the thing. you are doing that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you decided you wanted to try doing it,
I
and
went
you are
in,
you are doing
and
it.
I really went in.
Exactly.
Trying it.
I
yeah.
wanted to try the tattoo poster things. I did a full poster. I've already done it. I'm doing another one. Like I tried it. I did it. So like at least I can know, like I can eliminate that. Like, well, this was a pain in the ass. Like
Mhm.
now let's focus on this because that was less of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So like definitely like don't be the people that look at that blank canvas and then walk away. You attack it. Like attack that blank canvas because eventually like you're gonna strike fucking gold and you're gonna create something amazing. Whether it's music, art or whatever the fuck you are doing. Like you know, go metaphor with this crazy bitch and have fun. Don't be afraid to fail and yeah, don't quit before starting something. Like,
And I
yeah.
also feel like attacking something without really caring, like, oh, I bought this piece of wood,
Mm-hmm.
I sanded it, I did this, and now I'm afraid to ruin it with
Yeah,
painting. You know, like once
exactly.
you've gessoed it or
It's so
whatever the fuck
pretty.
you've done. Yeah, exactly. It's so white and beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit about that. Just do something.
Mm-hmm.
Like try to like have a plan. You know, as much as you can at that certain.
At least a starting
plan.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I mean. And then once you've done that, you're like, oh, I should do this.
Yeah.
And then you know,
That's what
at some
yeah,
point you'll make mistakes.
hopefully.
But what
That's
I
how
mean
you
is
learn.
like those mistakes will give you ideas of what to do next or not to do next. You know what I mean?
Exactly that.
Like it keeps feeding into the act of doing
Creates
creates
the next step.
The next step.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's when you stop and you quit and you just like you're afraid to do wrong. Like ruin it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
There's always the next one.
There's
Like,
another one.
yeah.
Or you just gesso it again. You sand it down. You
Yeah.
make another one.
Exactly.
Like, who cares? Like
Or even that mistake, if you keep going, might turn into like the coolest thing
happens
ever.
all
And
the
you're
time.
like,
It happens all
well,
the time.
Bob Ross it, you know, happy accidents.
Mhm.
That's what happens. And that's how we learn. And I think it's like one of the most enjoyable parts of it too.
Yeah. And I think just seeing that canvas as a sketchbook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there is like I'm not gonna hang this shit up.
No.
I'm just gonna draw it and then you know keep layering it until I ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
But at least doing that, you learn so much.
Yes.
Especially if you just it's like starting off, you're gonna learn a lot of shit.
Exactly.
Uh,
Because you have to start. Like,
yeah.
there's no learning if you're not doing.
But even
you know?
like you have YouTube. Like who had
Oh my
fucking
God,
had
yeah.
YouTube back then?
Yeah, but
You
that's
can-
also
like
that
oil
could
painting.
be.
No, but I mean just like find one video.
Yeah.
Commit to that one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't do all the videos
No.
where you just watch them. No. You watch and do.
Because that
like
is
that.
one of those procrastination hells.
Yes.
And I've been there so many times.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just going to look at this. And then that leads to that. And that leads to that. And then you spent the whole day just watching people do stuff when you were supposed to just get inspired and do it yourself.
Yeah. No.
So it's
that's
so
not-
easy to get derailed.
Yeah,
in
but I
that
wouldn't
way.
do this when I have drawing time.
No.
Like if you want to use YouTube, you do that. Like you find a video before that day comes. You
Yeah.
know, if you haven't found a video on the day you're drawing, you're not looking at YouTube. You know
No,
what I mean? Like you're not
exactly.
using YouTube.
Because I have one of those days tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have the day off tomorrow. I don't know what to do with that day. I have one drawing I have to do for the day after
Yeah.
tomorrow. But like, should I be planning in doing like some creative thing or should I not? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wing it. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to decide I'm going to be painting and I'm going to watch a YouTube video to get me motivated to paint.
No.
Fuck
That is
that.
terrible.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I might write tomorrow. Yes.
That's very nice.
Because I have another idea and I can throw this out there to other people. But I just heard a song. The song resonated a little bit with me in terms of storytelling. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that song, I'm going to find the lyrics, break those down, and make the lyrics into a horror story.
Oh, very cool.
So it's a 50s song. I don't remember who wrote the song. I actually don't even remember the fucking song now. It doesn't matter. It sounds super creepy because back in the 50s, like older men were really into like younger girls. There's always like this 40-year-old dude singing about a 16-year-old.
Ugh.
You know, it's just like, no, just no. That's so fucking wrong. So I heard this song. The song is like very cheerful and good, 50s vibe, you know? And I just listened to the lyrics and I'm like,
What
like
the
this dude could be
fuck?
like
Yeah.
a fucking serial rapist or serial killer. I'm like, that's a great idea. Like, I'm going to utilize this. I'm going to take this creep and actually make him into like a short story. But yeah, so like a little summer tip again for you guys if you feel creative in that way. Even, you know, make it into a scary comic book strip or whatever. Like, or maybe even a happy one. But utilize stuff that exists and make your own stuff out of it. Like, that's always a good, you know.
Yeah, I think it gives you this something to start off of
Exactly.
instead of looking at the black canvas. Trying
Exactly,
to sort of
yeah.
figure shit out.
It's already a sketch.
Yeah.
So it's a collab with this dude from the 50s.
From the 50s. This creepy dude. from
This
the-
creepy dude. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow. I think
Mhm,
at
that
least
is
get
pretty cool.
started.
Yeah.
Maybe just listen to the song.
Maybe just-
And then
get
go
inspired.
Yeah, and then go back to bed.
This is today's job.
Yes.
Listen to song.
Yes.
Yeah. What do we have anything else on quitting? Like
I think we should quit.
we should quit. Yeah. No, but we did quit the podcast once. Like
Yeah, we did.
and I think that was
Well,
like,
we didn't quit. We
No,
knew
no,
we were
no.
gonna get back to
yeah,
it.
yeah. But I just
eventually,
mean
but-
like it was still a quitting of sorts. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because I really needed it because I was not in a good place and
Yeah, but
Yeah.
back then you were doing the whole podcast yourself because I didn't have shit like any time at all. So like I just kind of left it all to you. So I
no,
understand.
but it was
that
all
that
the
was-
other stuff that was the hard part.
Oh
Though,
really?
You know,
the promoting and the.
no, the work stuff. You know,
Oh,
with
okay.
what happened at the old.
Oh,
company.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the hard part. Like, because
Oh,
we
okay.
were doing the podcast early on.
Yeah, that was
That was
therapy.
easy. Yeah. The end
It
of
still
it,
is.
though, yeah, it was hard. Like,
Yeah.
it was hard to do everything. And, like, sometimes you just got to quit to get ahead. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you really just need time for reflection and just, you know, to grow as a person.
Yeah, and I am actually a master of this because I've done it so many times. Like,
Mhm.
well, you can define it as quitting, but when I like picked up and moved to a different country, that was sort of rebooting, like quitting the Stockholm life, and I went to Germany and I did that, and it was such a breath of fresh air. It was
Denmark. as
Denmark,
well with
Australia
Lego.
twice,
Yeah.
and Germany.
Mm.
Yeah, Denmark twice, too. Actually, I went to Copenhagen and stayed there for 4 months before we went to Germany. So I did that. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And like, I don't know. I've always promoted that because it really helped me out so much. You know, I didn't stop drawing. I was still the exact same person, but it just sort of the whole change of environments and getting to know new people and just getting new input.
I guess what
Like-
you did was quit everyday life
Yeah.
in the country that you were in.
Exactly.
Sort of like getting yourself out of your comfort zone into Germany.
Exactly. Because I was only working
Yeah.
like a normal warehouse job,
Yeah.
wanting to draw more.
No kids, nothing that really
Nothing-
tied you down to this
exactly.
country.
No.
Yeah.
And then always had like a girlfriend excuse to move to said place. Because there's always that warehouse job.
You always have a girlfriend in another country. waiting
there's
for you.
always, yeah. Oh, that sounds horrible.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I meant
yeah.
that in a good way.
Oh, yeah,
I just mean there
exactly.
is always the possibility to leave.
Yeah, and then go home and write about serial killing with the
You with
creepy
the
50s.
50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
So don't be a quitter. Or
Yeah.
be a quitter. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Both of
it
those
all
things.
depends. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
And-
relative.
Haha. No, but seriously, like, what are your thoughts on quitting? And do you have questions regarding, like, should I quit this or not? Just post them in the episode discussion on Discord and talk about them. You know, like, help each other out, like, reflect on stuff.
You have a great community of people out
Yeah.
there, and if you want to reach out to us, just at us in the comments.
Yeah.
And no, we of course we want to help. Like, we can't guarantee that we have all the answers for you, but if you just want to vent
Yeah.
or reach out to us on Insta
Yeah.
and you know, write us your story, whatever.
Yeah.
And
If you don't want to write it in the Discord, for example,
Of
for
course.
everyone.
yeah, because
But I think a lot of people like have, there's a lot of experience out there,
yeah,
and just hearing some of the different takes on it might be what you need.
Exactly.
Like, because sometimes it's just like the way that I experienced something might not be of help to you, even though I'm doing maybe what you want to do in the future.
Yep.
Someone else that has like an entirely different story that doesn't do what I do is the one that reaches out to you. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
that
yeah.
reaches you like where you're at mentally
yeah,
and makes you like make as well-informed decision that you could possibly make at that certain time. So just reach out,
yeah.
The
We are here, all of us,
Mm-hmm.
the heroes,
The heroes.
or you are the heroes.
Yeah,
We
we're
are-
just idiots.
Yes. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Again, get out there, enjoy the summer, the sunshine,
Exactly,
or
without us.
without us, because obviously that's a better life. And yeah, try not to quit everything.
And quit the things that need quitting,
Exactly.
like your family.
yeah, or whatever. Carbs,
Carbs. Family carbs, whatever.
gluten.
Whatever. No, gluten stays.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten anything without gluten in it?
I-
That's worth quitting. Like, whatever oh man, they're disgusting.
I don't even
Everything
know what the
without-
fucking gluten is.
Gluten is something that makes stuff awesome.
Yeah.
And some people suck and
Yeah.
they don't want gluten in their food because they don't have the 5G installed
Oh yeah.
and not does speak in the Russian.
So yeah, get fluent
Yes,
in
so
Russian.
get
Get those glutes.
Get your 5G installed. Have some gluten cookies.
Glutens.
Yeah, be a glutton for gluten. And with that said, skibbity beep boppity bop butthole. We're out.
That was beautiful.
There